I'm so happy that you pressed play to this one. I was afraid you were not gonna listen, so I'm so happy that you're here. Because when we want to get the most out of our therapy, and we do want that, right? Because it is so crazy expensive to have a therapist and maybe see that person every week. I think it's important to do some kind of meditative practice at least once in a while, even just maybe before meeting with your therapist or astrologer or whatever counselor you have. Maybe you're so lucky to have someone who's both a therapist and an astrologer. Okay, so it's the fastest way, I think, to transformational change, which is what many of us want for ourselves, right? That's why we're here. Just a disclaimer, it starts sitting for hours. It's not Dr. Joe Dispenza, like that's so cool, that's working out for people. I would not be able to integrate that into my life. Anyway, but even just short sessions, it will make you receptive. And from this frame of mind, this meditative frame of mind, I think it's gonna be just easier to engage in the therapeutic. I don't want. It's not that it's gonna make you just blindly trust a therapist, anyone, without just trusting someone without regard to the demonstrated trustworthiness. I think trust needs to be created and deepened in order for us to find that firm reliance on someone else. I do remember a quote I read online. I think it was signed that it was Hemingway who said it. I don't know, but the quote was, "Trusting someone is the only way to find out if we can really trust them." And that's, of course, that's a good insight. Painful, but sure. Anyway, this is not about then it's gonna make you more suggestible. No, it's about potentially freeing up the energy that is so often used in us to tense up in the muscles and push down what we've learned is inappropriate feelings. In a meditative practice, we check in with the body, with the heart, and what is underneath the point of views that we attach to. I have had so many therapists throughout the years. You cannot believe it. So many counselors, so many healers. They've had different titles, but the point was I went there to feel better, to be healed, to take the demons out of me, whatever view I considered my problems in. But the reason why I've seen so many is, well, a lot of curiosity, I'll admit that. So just curious, what is this? And just one session, just want to see what this is. That's part of it, of course. But then there's also the part of it about being a bit impatient, that because when I've seen many, it also means I've not stuck with someone in particular for a long time. Back in the days, now I do. But I think about it, and I think maybe I wonder if I had meditated, would that therapy have made more sense to me? Because I know that what I was judging from then is not what I would judge from today. And would that meditation have allowed me to see more clearly and to hear more truly what is actually being said and having maybe also the focus more on my own process rather than whatever is annoying about the therapist, right? So coming into that center of yourself where you can see more clearly, because that we see how does this quote go, and I don't remember who said it, but we don't see the world as it is, but we see the world as we are, right? So that's why I think meditation makes so much sense. And just so you know, I'm gonna talk a little bit more, and then the meditation is gonna come. It's gonna come, but I just want to say a few things before we dive into it. For me, it's important for this healing journey, and then also to prepare for the insights of astrological symbols. It is really opening up to that field to be able to interpret and understand the symbols better. So it's both an instrument, and I know that in other fields of practices, I don't know if it's with music or whatever kind of creative flow, then it's the same way. This is like an instrument and then an important part of my own therapeutic work. And I do feel that when I've had a totally busy day and then just 3 o'clock I have to sit down with my therapist, and then it's actually a lot of the session is just landing and just releasing, and that's great that the space is there for it. But like I said, if you want to have more out of it, if you want to participate in this transformational change, then I think it could be good to dedicate a few moments before, if it's possible, to do it before you come, before the therapist session, because then gonna run more smoothly, I think. So the point is not the way that you do it, and basically just sitting for a little bit, allowing for the field of attention to widen and allowing to have this feeling of being whole and accepting all of your parts. This particular meditation that I'll do with you, I'll share with you, is based on being softer with yourself. That's like the end goal. You can do so many meditations on YouTube, and I even consider, should I do another meditation? There's so many out there. Does it make sense? But I think it makes sense just to at least to frame in what kind of podcast I'm doing here, in terms of what is it that's actually going to work for us when we want to get to know ourselves and we want to connect to ourselves. But anything that's out there, I really appreciate most of it. It's anything that involves observing the mind, breathing with awareness, going into the body. But in this one, I'll give you some sentences that are designed to potentially that you let go of attachment to the identity of unworthiness. Unworthiness, the trance of unworthiness, is something that I've heard Tara Brach talk a lot about. And it's huge in developmental trauma, which is usually the people that come to me have developmental trauma in some sense of that term. And so in that relaxed state, to be able to let go of that. So again, the less attached we are to our point of views when we go into therapy, it's just gonna work that better. And I have found, looking back, not very far back, that I have lived in a fearful bodily state without knowing truly. So that's why I want this to soften us, because there's been so much fear in this body that has made me pressure myself to achieve something, to act, to move, and there has been results, and I'm happy for it. The base of those achievements has been on an old feeling, an old voice in me almost, that I can't do anything and that I don't know anything. So all of this action and all of this entrepreneurial blood, sweat and tears that I've shed, it's done a lot of good, but it has either resulted, to be honest, it has resulted in complete depletion often. Depletion are either like running, just going out and doing things, meeting people. I've had a Danish podcast where I interviewed people that took a lot of energy up, absolutely, and then just complete depletion afterwards. And that's not really how you want it to be. You don't want to be depleted and then, because of the sickness, exhaustion, you have to let go of responsibilities. It's not a sustainable way to live. And it would actually be a way to live if you lived only through your fire element, because fire will do that. The fire element will make you just go out there, so much action, but then it can become too much if you don't balance it out with the other elements. It will become too much. The fire will go out. So that's why my focus has shifted in the recent time, because I didn't know that I was pressuring myself. This is so funky that it's like I didn't even know I was doing that. And now when I think of it, that was so clear. It's so evident that that's what I was doing. I can see it in the photos, I can hear it in my voice, I can remember it in my bodily state, but I was not aware. And this is the growth path, right? That we grow into more awareness of these things. So that's my focus has shifted to acting from a more soft space, being softer with myself. Okay, so I want to just give you 3 good reasons to do this meditation. Okay, number 1, the quality of our relationships with others really rely on the quality of relationship that we have with ourselves. So if you want to have a boyfriend, if you want to have better friendship, network, whatever, it's such a good idea to dedicate time to work on your relationship to yourself, because meditation is really time for yourself. Number 2, if we are in this stressful stage, then it's so much easier to get triggered. And when I experience external forces as if they are against me, the fact is just that it's just easier to get triggered like that. And my outer reality changes according to my internal pressure. Like I said before, it's about how you see the world. So knowing that my inner level of pressure, my inner level of stress is essential, even conclusive to what it is that I experience, then it makes sense to try to calm the stress a little bit. Okay, and the last one, it's again around therapy. For it to work, it's really helpful with this safe space where perhaps some emotions and longings that I've pushed down can safely come up. And so when you sit in front of a therapist and, the question is, what do you want to talk about today? What's in your heart today? And if you've already softened with yourself, then it's just gonna be much more clear what it is that you want to work on. So I've practiced, like I said, softness meditation for a while now, and my understanding of it is connected to a yin energy, the feminine energy. So to restore that feminine yin energy, the quality of yin. It's much different than numbing or sleeping, just to mention that. It's not entirely passive. It's a very intentional relaxation that does require you to take initiative to sit here and to decide to learn to be present. So it is a challenge, even though it's soft and relaxing. It's releasing the constraint and exercising emotional containment. I have many ambitions around this meditation, but I think you can gain much from it if you want to. So during the whole thing, we'll practice careful attention to the inner dialogue, to the inner structure, and just notice what arises in consciousness. That's fundamental when we talk about meditation, that just careful attention to what's going on inside and notice what arises. So let's do it. You can put music under if you prefer. I just don't want to mess with copyrights, so there's no music under this one. So find a comfortable way to sit in a wakeful position and move the feet a little bit. Flex your toes, stretch them out. And if you sit with your feet on the floor, you place the feet and you pay attention to the pressure of each foot. Equal pressure into the earth. And then relax your feet. And relax your ankles. And feel like your whole foot, both of your feet are sinking into the earth. And as they are sinking into the earth, imagine how there are portals under your feet that draws in yin energy from the earth. So you draw in yin energy up in the feet, spreading it up all throughout the body. creates relaxation throughout all of you. And as you sit here, you release the weight of you into the earth. Allow the world and reality as it is in your mind to drop. Now tense up your legs a little bit and relax them. So you can do that again. Tense up your legs, your calves, your thighs, your butt. All of it. Just tense it up and relax. As you relax, you let go of outer achievements that entrap your mind and your muscles. Now you squeeze your hands, your arms. Take a deep breath as you squeeze them. And fall into the breath out and relax hands and arms. And you just repeat that. So squeezing your hands, your arms, tensing it all up as much as you can. Inhale, stop, and exhale. Fall into the breath out and relax. Just feel the difference. Now raise your shoulders to your ears. Inhale. And exhale. Let it go. Relax. Suspend the mind into nowhere. Now turn your attention to your head, to the face. And if it helped you to tense and relax, you can do that with your head. Just tense it and then relax it. And if it didn't help you with the tensing, just let go of that. And relax, no matter where you are, relax around your eyes. Relax the cheeks. Relax the forehead. Relax the ears. Just really feeling both of your ears letting go. And relaxing the eyebrows. Bring your mind home to wholeness. Now move your awareness to your belly, your lower belly. Notice how you feel there. And can you surrender completely in your belly, in your hip area, relaxing your genitals. Notice yourself. Give yourself attention here. Let your belly hang loose. Tune into what happens in your lower belly. And this place around the navel, and this place in you around the navel, can you let go of any judgment around it And remember how powerful a place in you this is. So are you connected with your mother? So are you connected to life? And now spread your attention to the whole body. And as you inhale, you know you're inhaling. And as you exhale, you know you're exhaling. Just sit for a little while like this, being aware of the inhale, noticing the exhale. And regardless of what's bubbling up, feelings, sensations, thoughts, you're still right here with your breath, not allowing any clinging experience or any experience to cling. Okay, and before we wrap up, join me in a short breathing exercise. So what you do is you take an inhale and then you inhale a little bit extra and then you exhale out the mouth. So we're going to do that 5 to 7 times, however much you can manage right now. So let's try and do it together. And inhale, extra inhale, and release. And just repeat when all the air has come out of you. Make sure to empty yourself out before you take your next inhale. Let's do one more. And let go of that. Reestablish your natural rhythm of breath. And notice the outside edges of you. Maybe you can't find them. See if you can. And wherever you feel like you are right now, come into oneness with all of you. Come into oneness with all of you and rest here in stillness for a little while. Noticing how you feel. And every time you inhale, become aware of tension and let the exhale come to release that. Whatever tension there might be left, let the exhale come to release the tension. Imagine your front body is melting The back body is holding you upright, but with softness. Invoke self-compassion. Place your attention at the heart center. And infuse whatever feelings you find there with gratitude that you actually showed up for yourself. This very well-rounded meditation. I'm grateful you tuned in, and I hope that you found a place inside to call whole. Let's meet again soon.